this video in 4K. So are you searching for a video on how to remove or install a fuel tank on a late model Indian Touring? You've definitely come to the right place. Welcome back, Bikeaholics. Ryan Erlacher here, lawabidingbiker.com. I thank you for checking back in. That's right, this is a completely free tutorial video on how to remove and reinstall a fuel tank on your 2014 and newer Indian Touring. That means your Chieftain, Springfield, and Roadmaster models. And don't forget to check out other awesome Indian tutorial videos we've done, such as an oil change and service, exhaust installs, Power Commander 5 EFI tuners, and more. I will link to them all in the description below for you. So start saving money and work on your Indian in your very own shop or garage and have the pure satisfaction of wrenching on your own motorcycle. And with that said, what do you say we get wrenching, huh? But before we get our hands dirty, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Every time that is hit, along with that bell icon, another biker joins the revolution. We would love to have you part of it. And with a 6mm hex head, we're gonna start removing this seat. Got one rear bolt here. All right, with all those bolts out of the way, he can lift his seat off and get it out of the way now. All right, and to remove the fuel tank, there's just 2 bolts here on the rear of it. It's a hex head. Just getting that left side backed out. Just moving over to the right side, same thing, getting it out of there, the hex head. All right, so there's a fuel vent line here. He's just gonna pull that apart. And he just got some pliers. It's kind of being a bugger, that'll get it off there. All right, and with a 4mm hex head, he's gonna go ahead and remove this bolt in the back because we're gonna have to remove this dash panel on the top of the tank here. All right, and so what he's working on now is up front. There's another 6mm hex head up in there, same as the rear 2 tank bolts that we took out, but that's a front bolt for that dash panel, just like the rear one we took out. It is beneficial to undo those rear ones first like we showed you. You can slide the tank back, it just gives you some more working space up in there. But just a socket to get that front bolt out, you can see he's getting it there. And then we'll be able to remove this dash panel out of here. And that frees that up. Okay, on the rear here, just a trim tool is what we got. He's just gonna pop this tab so we can get this leather part of the tank dash panel off here. All right, we removed the dash panel off the top, of course, and then there's a couple plugs up in here. And just push tab and pull that one out of your way. Now you'll want to note underneath here, he's gonna show you, there's an actual blue button on there. That's your fuel line. It's a kind of a stop valve. You gotta push in on the blue button, and he's gonna lift up at the same time. And once you do that, it is a stop valve. It just leaks a little bit, so you had a rag, but our fuel line is now disconnected. All right, and there's just a little tab that holds your fuel line. You can see you just popped it out of the way there. And now that frees the fuel tank to be lifted out of the way. Going back on with the tank and just make sure all your grommets and washers are in the correct order there. All right, and you're just coming back on with this tank there. Got another hand keeping the fuel line out of the way there. Just starting to get things situated in place here. All right, he set that in place. All right, so we've left the tank back just a little bit. Again, that's to give us access up front because we still got to put the dash panel on, but before we do that, don't forget to plug back in. All right, and just to give you a little bit of reference, you'll see that tab on the front of the tank. That's why we left it back. We need access because that's the front where that dash panel connects to it. And he's just gonna start getting his dash panel situated back in place there. And they're just working to get that front bolt on that tank dash panel started. And with the 4mm Torx, before we completely tighten the front down, we're getting this one lined up in the rear. And now that the back's tightened down, he's gonna finish up front there with a 6mm hex head and a ratchet. All right, and there's just these rubber nubs that stick out on both sides, and there's a channel in that tank, so just make sure when you're sliding your tank forward into position, you're getting those lined up right, like so, and they sit right over top of them there. All right, and moving back underneath the right side of the tank here, don't forget to hook up your fuel line, and he's just gonna click it back on. There we go, just make sure you hear a click when you're getting that fuel line back on. All right, and they're just lining up the rear of the tank there, and a bolt in each side. And with a 6mm hex head, just gonna tighten down both sides there. And just finishing hooking up here is, don't forget to hook up your vent tube. All right, and setting his seat back into place there. Rocking it forward there. Line up his rear hole. And of course, don't forget both sides of your seat. You've got a bolt. It's a 6mm hex head. All right, and of course, after you get done working on your bike, get all those greasy fingerprints off everything. Bug slide, our #1 go-to waterless motorcycle cleaner. Use the heck out of it. Chrome, paint, that denim paint, anywhere on your bike, good to go. And best of all, it puts a microscopic protective finish on everything, so it's easier to clean the next time. You can get it, of course, in the Law Abiding Biker store, lawabidingbiker.com/store, and I will link to it in the description below. Are you cold? What happened? Quit touching the tip. Quit rubbing the tip.